it in the center here. Hello. Welcome. Still trying to figure out how to go live on YouTube, on Instagram. Every time I think I've got it set up. Let's go. Brittany. Hi, Fatima. So today we are going to be talking about SEO. And that stands for Search Engine Optimization, for those of you who don't know. And specifically how it affects your YouTube channel or any other of your social media content on any other platform for that matter. Let me see if I can get Instagram live here. Give me just a second, y'all. I don't understand. I must be doing something wrong. Let me try one thing here. So I hope this subject is interesting enough to keep you guys on board, because I've been geeking out to SEO, on SEO for many, many years. And I realize how important it is to my promotion of my content on the internet. And I want you guys to understand that too. One second. Give me just a second. Why can't I go live on Instagram? Give me a minute. Oh, here's my phone. Let's do it on the phone. I'm just going to add a title, SEO, and social media. Give you guys a minute to get in the room anyway. Social media. There we go. I'm gonna put this on. So at least I can get live on Instagram through my phone. All right. So like I said, this is a subject that might put a lot of people to sleep, but I have been actually geeking out on SEO for years. I'm going to say when the YouTube was first invented, I remember going to day-long workshops on SEO, how to use it, how to get your content seen. So I want to start off by explaining why this is so important. For you as somebody who creates content on the internet, be that YouTube videos, be that Instagram posts, be that tweets, blog posts, articles, whatever you're doing, you need to understand that that is because or has some kind of relationship to SEO, whether that's intentionally or unintentionally. Every single thing you see has something to do with SEO. And understanding SEO, search engine optimization, is uber important for content creators because it directly impacts the discoverability and the visibility of your content online. And here's why it's important. What does it help with? Well, it helps with getting you visible. It helps content creators improve their, I'm going to use these terms called ranking. When you rank in the search engine, that means you've moved up the ladder and you're more than likely to be seen versus not seen. It helps with organic traffic, and that means that as you rank higher in the search results, when you search for something on Google and whatever it is, how to bake a cake, those results that show up on page 1, not to mention spot 1 on the Google search results, are those results that have ranking. And when you are ranking, whether that means on the first page or the second page, the number 2 spot, and number 20 spot, that means greater exposure for you, more engagement for you, and potentially higher revenue for you through whatever you're posting about, if it's ads, if it's sponsorship, if it's product sales. The number 3 reason it's important is because SEO helps the artificial intelligence running the back end of the internet understand who your content is for. So they are looking at certain pieces of data to decide who to show your content to. That's why I said every single thing you're finding on the internet is somehow impacted by SEO. Also, unlike paid advertising that may stop generating traffic once the budget runs out, your organic SEO efforts can provide long-lasting, long-term benefits, high-quality leads to your content. And then some things that aren't necessarily data-driven are the user experience. Because if you give your user the optimum experience, that means that you're improving, you're giving them exactly what they're looking for. I search for what was one thing I searched for today? How to go live on Instagram and YouTube at the same time using Ecamm. Well, that result that showed up higher up on the search, showed up first, I want that to be super relevant to what I'm looking for. I don't want the first result to show up to be how to go live on Instagram and YouTube using some other platform I've never heard of. I want to know how I can go live on both platforms using this specific platform. So relevancy is important. So why are we talking about SEO as it affects your YouTube content? That is because Google owns YouTube. I'm sure you heard this before. Since 2006, YouTube has been a subsidiary of Google, and therefore SEO is bound to play heavily and impact the content that's being shown. I don't know why this has happened to your viewers on YouTube. That's really important to know. When you are searching, let's just say you're not even searching on YouTube, you're searching on Google for something. Did you notice that some of the search results are actually YouTube videos? That's not an accident. That's intentional. But I just want to talk to you guys a little bit more. Who in the live has a little bit of insight or a little bit of experience using SEO, whether that be on your YouTube channel or be on your website or for anything that you might be doing on the internet? Who has some experience with SEO, because I want to hear from you guys too. But I want to kick things off with the basics of SEO when it comes to YouTube, or like I said, every single other social media. If you don't have YouTube, you got Instagram, you got TikTok, you got Twitter. All of these algorithms work from the aspect of SEO. It is like when you SEO optimize your content on whatever platform, this is like leaving breadcrumbs for the algorithm to find your content and show it to viewers who are looking for the topics that you cover. Andrea has some. I've used YouTube Research, TubeBuddy, and Search Google Trends. Absolutely great. That's great. Those are things I'm going to suggest. So, let me see if I can break this down into something that's going to be relatable. SEO is basically telling the artificial intelligence behind the computer what your content is about, so that it knows that I'm going to show this content to this specific particular person or people because this is what they're looking for. Not only do they use clues that are included in your content, if I'm talking about blogs, I'm talking about words that are in the actual article that you write for your blogs. If I'm talking about YouTube videos, it's in what you're saying in your video. I'm saying in this video is about how to go live on Instagram and YouTube using Ecamm Live. It's listening. It knows that's what it's about. But just to be sure, you would absolutely want to optimize your video to make sure you let the algorithm know that this is what your video is about. And this is where your keywords come in. To put it simply, keywords are phrases and words that people type into the search engine bar when they're looking for videos. Come on, man. I don't know why this keeps happening. Sorry. When they're looking for videos. The trick is to figure out what keywords are relevant for your videos and your audience. And as Sixbo says, you can use a lot of tools like Google Keyword Planner or TubeBuddy or vidIQ or even just the YouTube search engine to find these keywords. So you're going to get some keywords that are words and phrases. Now, I see a lot of people try to optimize their content using one word at a time. They don't always have to be one word. Sometimes they can be one word, but most of the time it's a phrase. And we can get into how complex these phrases can be, whether they're one words, two words, 6 words. But it's a phrase that describes what your content is about. Let's say, as an example, I'm going to stick with this example of how to go live on Ecamm and on Instagram and YouTube. How to go live on Instagram, how to go live on YouTube, how to go live using Ecamm. These are keywords that particular video might think about using. Okay, once you have these keywords, I'm going to talk more about how to come up with these keywords. But first I want to explain, once you have these keywords, what do you do with them? Where do they go? Well, they should be thoughtfully used. I couldn't think of a better word than thoughtfully, because I don't want you just throwing them out there willy-nilly. They should be thoughtfully used in several different areas of your video. Where? In your title, in your description, in your tags. And I mentioned the algorithm earlier. One thing I want to stop and let you guys know. Yes, Andrea, in your title, description, and hashtags, and in addition to, as I just mentioned, what you're saying in your video. If your video is about how to go live on Instagram, and you never once in your video say, this video is about how to go live on Instagram, that's a problem. you'll want to definitely say it too, because with the advancement of technology, it's listening to what you're saying. It's like, we're not just going to take your word for what you're saying in your title and your description. We're listening to what you're saying. In the old days, and I still do this just because it might help and it sure can't hurt, I would title my thumbnail and title my video file, How to Go Live in Instagram. Because I do know that, especially if it's an image-based content, if it's image-based content, your photo will show up in the search results, whether it's a thumbnail or a blog post photo or whatever, if you've used those keywords. Okay, but I was talking about the algorithm and what the algorithms are looking for. And what I feel like this isn't what this live is about, but I honestly believe that I need to mention that whenever you guys are talking about the algorithm or algorithms, because there are many on every single social media platform that you hear about in reference to YouTube on these social media platforms, replace that word algorithm with the audience. Because all algorithms these days are designed to think like an actual viewer. So when you say the algorithm is wanting this, it's the viewers want this. Just put that in your back pocket. Just leave it there. It'll be useful later on. Now, you might be wondering, well, how do I pick the right keywords and tags for my videos? Now, that's a great question, because choosing these keywords carefully can really just make or break your SEO strategy. And what you want to do is start with brainstorming. It's just regular old common sense. Think about what terms people might be typing in to YouTube or Google to find content like yours. They may use different words than you are thinking about describing in your video. Are there specific questions that you answer in your videos? You can jot these down, and then you're going to come up with your keywords. Going live on two different platforms. Maybe they won't say Instagram and YouTube. Maybe they'll say how to go live simultaneously on 2 different platforms. Write all these things down. Now that you have this rough list of what you think people might be typing into the search bar, it's time to refine it. That's when you can use tools like TubeBuddy or vidIQ or even just the YouTube search bar. Because what these tools do is they show you how often or how frequently certain keywords are searched and how competitive they are. That's going to be a TubeBuddy and a vidIQ thing. Even so, with YouTube, when you start typing something into the search bar, the first results that come up related to what you're typing in, those are the most popular keywords that people are looking for. So when you get into using tools like vidIQ and TubeBuddy, they're going to give you some additional data that's going to let you know how competitive those keywords are. But right now, we're not worried about that. We're just worried about getting our content discovered by people who are probably interested in what we're talking about. It means that others may have searched for that content, but you're not just, when you're SEOing, I'm going to say that's a word, your content, you're not just looking for people who are searching. You're optimizing it so that when these people who are interested in the content that you're posting are on YouTube, that your content, watching similar content, they're watching similar content because some of the keywords and some of the descriptions are similar, that your video is going to get suggested. You know that suggested column on the right-hand side when you're watching YouTube videos? That's how that happens. That's how those videos get suggested there. If, in fact, I'm a small creator and I'm making a video about how to go live on on Instagram and YouTube using Ecamm Live. I may not have the juice to get my own subscribers on board with that video, but what I can do is I can use the same or similar keywords that another creator who's more popular, who has more juice, who has more authority is using, and that your video could get suggested by YouTube. And no, that's not why Raven Six Bells is talking about the channel that I manage, Raven Elise TV. If you guys didn't know, I'm the momager and channel manager for Raven Elise TV. And I work on strategy and content creation for her channel, and along with managing the whole business. But no, that's not why Raven talks nonstop. She's just a talker. So she's just got a lot to get out of her head. Nothing wrong with that. If you're saying supporting, if you're giving supporting words to what your video is about, you're just giving the algorithm more information to go on. You're giving the algorithm, YouTube algorithm, the people who are watching. Oh, she's saying in this video, I'm going to show you how to do XYZ. This video is about XYZ. Talk about it. Tell them about it. Don't sit there going, yeah, anyway, so today, so I thought I would walk over here. Tell them exactly what you're doing. The people want to know. The people want to know, but the algorithm also wants to know. What the heck is this video about? Okay, we talked about using brainstorm. We talked about getting a rough list. Y'all know that, please, this is just a high-level overview. There's so much to talk about with SEO. So much. And I feel that your very first step is actually getting an understanding of how it works and how you can use it to your advantage. And it doesn't take a lot of time. And it don't hurt. Unless you're trying to keyword stuff. Don't do that. I don't think anybody does that in 2024. But just in case you're one of these people who are like, I'm just going to put a bunch of keywords that don't make sense in my description. Don't do it. Don't do it. YouTube will flag you for that. That's called keyword stuffing. What you want to do is, I don't know any other way except use them thoughtfully. Explain it in plain language for the people. Okay. So once you have your keywords, you're going to put them in your title, your thumbnail, your title, you can name your thumbnail keywords too. Your title, your description, and your tags. And when you're thinking about your tags, think of them sort of like supporting actors. They back up your main keywords. So they may be variations of your main keyword, using synonyms, using related topics. For example, if your video was about easy home workouts, instead of just using home workouts, you might want to use what they call long tail keywords, which have a lot more supporting information, like easy home workouts for beginners, or quick home workouts for busy moms, or if you're using home workouts, a synonym might be home fitness routines. What would be a different word that someone else would use? If you said easy home workouts, easy home fitness routines, easy home exercise routines. You see what I'm saying? Those synonyms. Go on Google, go on ChatGPT, find those synonyms if you can't think of them off the top of your head. Use the synonyms that also describe your content. So, the key is to keep experimenting and adjusting on what works. Because SEO, that's not a one and done deal. It is about constantly learning and adapting, and even going back to your old videos and because some of you may be hearing about this for the first time. Some of you may not have SEO optimized your titles, your description, much less your tags. But what you can do is you can go back to your old content and you can re-optimize it. Now, the one thing I would say, be careful. If you've got a video and it's running, it's going, it's running up, the numbers are going up, don't fool with it right then. Wait till the traffic kind of dies down. But these old videos that you have, I know of channels who have burst onto the scene again because they went back and re-optimized their old content. Not only with tags, titles, descriptions, but with a fresh thumbnail. You can do this. When the traffic has died down and you can go in and change up some things, go ahead and do that. The reason why they say, or I've heard, I don't know if this is true, that you shouldn't really do it to a video that's getting a lot of views is because it's almost like telling the algorithm or AI on YouTube that this is a brand new piece of content, because you're changing what's called the metadata. Metadata is data on the back end that tells YouTube, Google, what your content is about. Your tags, your titles, your description are metadata. Your thumbnail is not metadata, at least not that I know of. So what might happen if you go in and switch things up on a video that's getting a lot of views, you might mess things up. So you don't want to take that chance. But on those videos where the views aren't moving and nobody's watching or hardly anybody's watching, go back in and experiment with your SEO to see if you can get it. Now, don't go and change the title to something that has nothing to do with the video. It needs to be relevant. If I didn't mention that now, I'm mentioning it now. If I mentioned it before, I mention it now. It has to be relevant to your video, or else it will go very badly to you, for you. So make sure they're relevant. Go back, change up the tags, change up the thumbnails also, change up the descriptions. You have, 500 characters or more in the description? Yes, you can put all kinds of links to send people here and there and other ways, but be sure you have a good sized paragraph at the beginning of your video that explains exactly what your video is about, that is keyword rich, that has all the things we just talked about, the main keywords, synonyms, and related topics. Make it make sense. vidIQ has a function that will go in and AI your description based on some keywords that you want to talk about. But you don't have to have vidIQ. You can do it yourself. This is just, vidIQ saves you some time. So phases of Angie, I heard tags are not as important as the title. They are not. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how important tags are. And I'm assuming, I really feel like it's on a video by video basis. So I don't like to spend a lot of time on tags. Just put them in there. Using a tool like vidIQ or TubeBuddy, you can get suggestions for tags that might work for that video. But just describe the video. Use common sense. Just describe the video. What's going on? What were people searching for? So, okay. Keep experimenting, keep adjusting, go back and zhuzh up your older videos. And I want to move on to talking about your titles. So I know from personal experience that SEOing your titles can be a little bit tricky because you're trying to use your keywords, but you want it to be something that your ideal viewer would click on. You want it to make sense. You want it to be interesting. You want it to be cute. You want it to be funny, but you're trying to use these keywords too. So this is another area where brainstorming is important. think about what several different title variations that you can use. If you don't have a team, run them by a friend. With our team, we spend a lot of time talking about, everybody kind of suggests their title ideas. Sometimes we want to do a title that's going to resonate with our core audience. If you have a core audience, if you've been building your audience for a while, you want a title that's going to capture their attention. And I've overheard some YouTube creators talk about the fact that they wish that YouTube had a system set up where we could put one title out for our core audience and another title out for the YouTube audience at large. And I wish that happened too. So, so far, that's not an option. So you have to kind of manually hack it. So what we may do is we'll put a title out that is more specific to our audience who knows us and knows what we're about. It doesn't have to be so super explanatory. And then after a week or two, we'll change the title. After all of our diehard viewers and fans have watched the video, we'll change the title to be something that's more generic and more global on YouTube. So that's an idea. It's working out pretty good for us, and I would suggest that you try it. Look, this is a lot of this stuff on YouTube as far as strategies or whatever. There are some strategies that, okay, you must do this. You must do that. Title plus the thumbnail plus the description is going to be highly relevant to what your content is about. That's a rule. But some of the other stuff are just experiments. So as Angie was saying, tags aren't as important as a title. That's true. Tags aren't as powerful as maybe they used to be in 2006, 2007. Personally, I think they still matter. Why do I think they still matter? If YouTube gives you a space to put some tags, that means they're going to use it. They're not just asking that to have you waste your time. So, use the titles, include relevant keywords and variations that you maybe couldn't naturally fit into your title or description. And I just want to mention too, as we come, books on SEO. No, I don't know of any. I haven't read any books lately on SEO, but I do recommend searching YouTube to get yourself leveled up in understanding how SEO works. Because we're talking about social media content, specifically YouTube, but SEO, if you have a blog and you're wondering why your website isn't getting traffic, because you may not have properly SEO optimized your website and each piece of content. And there are plugins to go with WordPress that help you choose keywords that also help you know where to put those keywords. For instance, this is old school SEO. Put your keywords in a subheading, a heading or a subheading. That's going to give you a little bit more weight than also putting them in the paragraphs. Back in the day, there used to be some quote unquote gray hat SEO tactics to get your blog post or your article showing up at the top of the YouTube or the video, the Google search results. And that involved writing these crazy articles that made no sense whatsoever. You probably come across some of these articles on the internet today when you're working with SEO. Or searching for something, you'll come across an article and you're like, what does this even mean? They're just like using a bunch of words. And some of those have slipped through the cracks. But that's not what it's about anymore. It's not just about robots and algorithms. It's about people. It's about how people are searching, how people are engaging, how people are responding to the content that pops up in their feed. So let's just say you have a YouTube video that is SEO optimized to the gods. It is optimized. You have put the stuff, keywords everywhere, and your video shows up in the search results. But your thumbnail sucks. It's horrible. It's not explaining what the video is about. You're going to get looked over. Nobody's going to watch it. So SEO and tags, and don't please, if any of you guys have come in late, I do not take from this live stream that that SEO is the answer to everything on YouTube. It's not. It is a portion. It is a small portion. It is a very important part of your video content, but it will not fix bad thumbnails. It won't fix bad intros. It won't fix bad lighting, bad audio, a topic that's not aligned with your audience. It's not going to fix any of that stuff. But if you do have all of that stuff lined up, SEO is going to be the icing on the cake. It is going to get your content seen by the people that you want to see it. It is huge when it comes to visibility. And you may notice that there are some large creators on YouTube who don't use tags. They may not even have their description SEO'd. They've been around a while. They have a large library of content that's informing YouTube what they're all about. If you're a smaller creator or if you're new, I urge you to use SEO optimization as much as you can to give yourself a little boost and get your content seen. Okay, so any questions about what I've talked about? I've kind of just given you a high-level explanation of what SEO is, how to use it on YouTube and on your other social media platforms. But I'm talking, if you want to talk about Instagram, you want to talk about TikTok, it's what you're putting in your captions. It's what you're putting in your captions. It's explaining to the Instagram platform what your content is about. Yes, you can use hashtags, but keywords. Melanated to perfection. Should we incorporate some of those keywords in our description? Absolutely. No, you should. You must. You must incorporate those keywords in your description into your video as well. Sometimes my video descriptions kind of are a little much, but it's best to be a little much than be a description that says, and I'm still seeing this in 2024, I can't believe I'm seeing this, more info down below. What? No. Put it high up. That first paragraph, what they call above the fold, meaning what people are going to see of your description when they first start watching the video. That first 2 or 3 lines, depending on where you're watching it, is highly important to SEOing your description. Put it up, the closer it is to the top, the more important you're telling the algorithm it is to explain what your video is about. So repeating in the intro what our niche is for every video. I'm not sure about repeating what your niche is. Your intro to your video. And this has, I guess it has something to do with SEO, and it also has to do with video watchability. From the jump, first few seconds of your video. In this video, you're going to learn how to go live on Instagram and YouTube on Ecamm at the same time. That way, that's for the algorithm. We've used the keywords, but that's also for the viewers, Because if I open that video, I'm like, oh, great. That's exactly what I wanted to know. But if you don't, and if you putz around and you say things like, hi, my name is Tony. I've been doing SEO I've been going live on platforms since la da da. I do this and I do that, la da da da. I'm like, what, girl, what? What you finna talk about? You finna talk about what I need? In some way, you've got to let the people know you're going to give them what they came for. You're confirming, I'm going to give you what you came for. And also, it lets them know that you're not a person that's going to beat around the bush. People don't have time anymore. We would love for them to just sit around and wait for us to get to the point, but you can't anymore. It's a new world. Short form content has given us very short. I am super impatient when it comes to YouTube videos. If it's a video that I'm interested in, the topic, and perhaps I've watched the creator on several other videos and I know I like their style and I know they give valuable information or interesting information or entertaining information, I'm going to watch that video all the way through. Today I watched a video twice, all the way through. But if it's something where it's like, oh my God, I don't know when you're going to get to the point, I'm out of there. And that's the worst thing that could happen on your YouTube channels. That is the worst thing that can happen. When people open up your video, they start watching it and they're like, goodbye, I'm on to something else. That tells YouTube, the YouTube algorithm, don't show this to nobody. Don't show this to too many more people. They're not going to like it. So, someone said Roberto Blake's books. I haven't read Roberto Blake's books, but I trust Roberto immensely. Anything he says on the topic of YouTube and social media, I'm going to tell you is right. Go with it. So he may have a section in his book on SEO. I'm actually thinking of putting my course information into a book. I might do that. For those of you who like to read, let me know if you think that's a good idea. But anyway, that's my spiel. Hopefully you've learned something about SEO. I'm here to answer any questions specifically you have, or to maybe even share my screen on some things if you guys want to know about keyword research. Keyword research is a hobby of mine. I want to know what the people are looking for. I want to know what the popular topics are. Do they have anything to do with what I'm talking about? I had trouble finding any good books at Barnes & Noble. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Honestly, I have bought some books on social media strategy, but it's just so much easier. I'm a very visual learner, and I'm an auditory. So what I'll do, and this is a hint for you guys, when I'm exercising or whatever, I'll find a creator who makes videos on a specific topic I'm interested in, and I may not even watch it. I'll just listen to it while I'm walking. Titling is something that we're struggling with. So last week when I was exercising, I loaded up a playlist about the best title strategies, how to come up with interesting titles for your YouTube videos. And it was about 3 or 4 videos. And I listened to them while I was walking. Now, I couldn't take notes or anything like that, but I was able to gain a lot of knowledge. I came back and took some notes. What's considered too long for a video? No such a thing. No such a thing. Okay? Depending on what your niche and your topic is. My videos on YouTube, I find it very difficult to go beyond like 6 or 7 minutes. I just don't have that much to say. And I feel like, I need to get to the point. I need to give valuable information and move on. Some people vlog, and they keep their videos around, vlog is a style now, about around 20 to 30 minutes. Some creators do 45 minutes to an hour. It depends on your content. Are you keeping people engaged for however long your video is? Are you keeping them engaged? You know how to know that? Go look at your analytics. See where the traffic is dropping off. See what your average view duration is. Now, this is getting into a whole different kind of scenario here. There are videos on YouTube that are 8 hours long. What are those videos? They are meditations, sleep meditations, affirmations. I listen to them every night. Now, them people ain't getting paid from my ad clicks because I don't have ads on my YouTube videos, and I'm sure not clicking on ads while I'm sleeping. But if you can imagine, I may put my sleep headphones on, and it may be a book. Someone's reading a book, and that book may be 3 to 4 hours long. I'm letting it play. I hate this. I'm letting it play. So is it too long? No. It depends on your niche, your topic, your audience, and how long you can keep the people engaged. I wanted to delete a video. It gets constant views, makes me no money, and is not the right topic. I think it ruined my channel. I want to delete it. Private it, see what happens. I'm not a huge fan of privating videos, but if it's bringing the wrong audience and you're trying to course correct and you're trying to grow an audience that is not related to that video, then you might need to. I mean, for instance, I had a bunch of diet videos on my channel. I privated those. I don't want those people there. I'm not talking about that anymore. I'm talking about social media. What would I recommend at the beginning of a podcast video to let the people know the episode is about? Here for the dads. Exactly that. Exactly what I just said for the YouTube videos. In this podcast, I've got such and such as a guest. We're going to be talking about blank, blank, blank. The structure of your content is extremely important. I know you guys see people just hopping on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and doing whatever. That is actually not the best strategy. The best strategy is to have a structure that is an intro, a hook, an intro, main content, and then calls to action and your close. That's how all of your content should be structured in some way or the other. So, explaining what do you listen to any other podcasts, dads? I'm pretty sure you didn't start this podcast without being subscribed to several other popular podcasts. So you can kind of get a feel. Maybe you're just a podcast person. I like podcasts. I love listening to podcasts. I listened to 3 or 4 last night. Go listen to a handful of your favorite podcasts that you happen to know are popular and see how they start theirs off. And see how you can apply it to your podcast. LaTanya wants me to show my screen and show us how to search the content. Hey, let me see. Okay, let me do that. Sharing my screen. What screen are we looking at? Where are we going? Oh, they want to show this screen over here. Okay, I'm going to make this screen bigger. And I'm going to show. LaTanya, since you made this suggestion, what do you want me to search for? I'm going to move this so y'all can see on, we never did figure out how to make this live on Instagram at the same time. But, so you guys are on Instagram are just going to have to watch the replay for this. Day says, cutting the most enticing bits and putting them at the front before the intro usually keeps me watching. Can be less than 10 seconds. Absolutely. What is that called? Technically, we call it a pre-roll. We call it pre-roll. Do we call it a teaser? It's where you, and I can actually show you kind of how this looks here. Let's go to the beginning. What she's talking about, what Day is talking about.
My daughter Zaya, she's 7 years old and she needs
Why is this?
a playroom makeover. There was so much sanding and priming. My daughter Zaya, she's 7 years old and she needs a playroom makeover.
There's really quick clips.
This is not a
really
woman
quick
who doesn't know what she's
showing
doing job.
what's going to be going on. And it lasts about 12
We are
seconds.
finally
And then we
finished
get
with
right
the
into
IKEA
it.
Billy.
So, LaTanya, videos for fine, thin hair. Okay, fine, thin hair. What would I be searching for? I would be searching for women specifically. And then, yes, you can use those teaser moments specifically for podcasts too. When I was listening to a podcast last night, they took out some funny sections. Maybe it was just a couple of seconds of the host and the guest talking. And that got me interested because I know that's what was coming in the podcast. So it doesn't have to be, it can be visual, but it can also be verbal. So then I think, LaTanya, you're talking about thin hair. Okay, you see what I put in? I said thin hair. What came up? Thin hair hairstyles. Thin hair to thick hair. Thin hair cutting styles. Thin hairstyles for black women. What did you say? Videos for fine thin hair. There you go. That's your ideas right there. Thin hair bun hairstyles, thin hair cover up, thin hair treatment, thin hair updo, you just keep going. So depending on what, let's just say you were making a video about thin hair hairstyles. Let's just see. What I like to do is I like to use the YouTube search filter. Go to filters, go to view count. So it's going to give me the ones with the most views. But first, I don't want any because YouTube is good about showing you things for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I want to filter it by this year. Then I may not be interested in short form. So then I'll filter it again to 4 to 20 minutes. There we go. So what you may notice is some of these videos don't look like they have anything to do with thin hair. But what you're going to do is you're going to keep looking. Now, it's looking like it's just talking about, here's a clip-in bangs for a receding hairline. You're looking for ideas that might be relevant to, and let's just say we might want to put a long tail in there for women. All right. Do the same thing. View count. Do the same thing. 4 to 20 minutes. And then I don't like to look at the ones that have 12 million, 40 million views. We don't need that. We need some that are more reasonably, now these are still old. I had 6 years ago. I don't want 6 years ago. Because those things are, they might still be popular, but I don't think they're as relevant. Now, I'm looking to see if there are any relevant, related video topics that I can use. Do you guys see these words here? Those are the tags that these videos are using. So let's just say stringy curls. I don't know if that has to do with thin hair. Here we go. Life-changing hacks for fine, thin hair. Hair care tips to add volume to your hair. Latanya, you see that? Now, when you look at the keywords they've used, some of them are specific to that channel. The channel is called Be Beautiful. So, I may not want to use those, but I may want to use how to add volume to hair. Hair care routine for thicker hair. These are keywords that she got 900,000 views. Maybe I could get some good views on this. So what I'm saying is, I'm showing you to show that it's not just going to be boom, you're going to come up with the answer right there at the top of the page. You're going to have to do some research. You're going to have to spend some time looking. You're going to have to see, oh, I could take that. Even if it doesn't say it's thin hair. It's for thin hair. You could use it for your topic, which is thin hair. Is that helpful, Latanya? That is the way I use the search engine. Now, these keywords I'm talking about here, that's a function of my vidIQ. Another thing you can do with vidIQ is to go on over to show all 24 keywords. And so what I'm seeing there are a lot of related keywords. Styling for thin hair, fine hair, thinning hair. I've showed this before, that the competition is high, so that means that if you've got a smaller channel and you haven't really been a thought leader in this topic, that you might not want to start out making videos for the very high competition keywords. You want to see if there are any low competition or medium competition keywords. One is volume for fine hair, medium, and one is for thin fine hair. You know, you just may be in a competitive niche. There's no problem with that. But you're going to have to know how to play in this pool. I get lost in vidIQ. You got to keep practicing, Latanya. Keep practicing. Keep experimenting. Sometimes there's too much information for a beginner. So you just really want to stick with, what did you say? Traction alopecia. There's traction alopecia hairstyles, traction alopecia regrowth, traction alopecia treatment, all of those things. And when you search for that, what you're wanting to know before that's your thing. And I think that you're going to be able to win in that anyway. But when you look at the keywords, you want to see how many people are actually searching for traction alopecia. You know, why this stuff comes up, I don't know. But traction alopecia gets about 3,400 searches per month. And it's low competition. So that should be something that you should make a lot of videos around, because you may be able to get some attention in that realm. In any case, we kind of veered off of SEO and into how to search for topics that you can make videos about. But, and as I said, you guys that are on Instagram, you can watch the replay and get the screen share. Hopefully, I don't want you guys to feel like you need to learn all of this stuff all at once in one day, because it's definitely not true. But spending a little time on it every single day, trying to understand how content gets served to your audience or to anybody on the internet or YouTube is really important. What am I telling? I'm just going to summarize right now. What am I telling YouTube, Google, the algorithm, the search engines that my content is about by the words and the phrases that I'm using? Am I using words that my typical audience member would, visitor, viewer, would use? Do I need to add in some synonyms that tell them what this content is about? And go back and play around with your older content to see if you can get some traction going on those videos that you created before you knew how to SEO optimize. And then come back and let me know how that's worked out for you. But you guys, I gotta run. It's time for dinner. Gotta go. And I'll see you next week. What am I talking about on my live next week? I don't even know. Let me see. I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure it is something that you'd be interested in. It is going to be about, this is not just YouTube. Which platform is best for you if you are wanting to make money on the internet? We're going to talk about that. I can talk about YouTube. I can talk about TikTok. I can talk about Instagram. I can talk about LinkedIn. So come prepared to tell me about your business, how you're making money on the internet, how you're monetizing, and we'll talk about the best platforms to make that happen for you. And I will see you guys later. Talk to you soon.